You dominated a high rank badly. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you dominated a high rank badly. All right? I need somebody to drop in the comments and say your status never mattered. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say your status never mattered. Y'all listen to me. You take a person who don't have the foundation, don't have the financial backing, don't have the nepotism, they don't have the resources, whatever it is that they need to be thrusted forward naturally, right? Everything for them, it comes from the grind, the mud, all right, the dirt up. However, they got all the talent, they got the gift, they have the skill set, they got everything, the attitude, everything, right? But it may take them a little longer to be recognized or discovered. Why? Because they don't know the right people and they don't have the right things. But let's move forward to the person who may not be as skilled, may not be as talented, may not be as gifted. However, they do have the nepotism. They do have the network. They do have connection to the society. They do have connection to the organization. They do have the network, right? But they don't have the skill set nor the talent or the gift. If they meet the person who have the skill set, the talent, and the gift, they're going to get dominated. Why is that? Because you were just in a position. You only had a status. That's why I say your status never mattered. I never forget when Nipsey Hussle was like, I used to hold certain artists in high regard. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing. Y'all can correct me down below in the comments if I'm wrong. But I never forget he said something along these lines. I used to hold certain artists in high regard. But I realized that you ain't no better than me. They're not no better than me. And he wasn't saying it in a way of, like umping on them. But he was like, hey, I got to remind myself that I'm that guy. I'm that dude. They ain't no better than me. They're not more talented, more gifted than me. They just in a position. What happens when the talented person get in that same position? Yeah. What happens when the skilled person actually get in that position? They gonna dominate. So for my people who making music, it's not that they're better than you. They're just in a position. For my ladies who's a model, it's not that she's prettier than you. She's just in a position. For my people who's trying to do social media, build a business, it's not that they are better than you or have a better mindset. It's just that they are in position, okay? But who you are right now is what it takes to sustain where you're trying to go. In other words, I'll take being the person who don't have the foundation, the network, the nepotism and the financial backing and etc. Why? Because now I'm building character. I'm going to be able to sustain the things that I work so hard for. This person right here probably going to lose it quicker. I'm not saying that they will, especially if they are raised in the right way. But most times when people never had to work for it, they don't understand how to value it. But the point is, y'all, is that you dominated a high rank badly. We're going to talk about why, okay? But before we do so, second video of today on the Reno Speech Life channel. As y'all can see, we coming back to back with the bangers. Y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel and be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's get right into it, chosen ones. Number one, you took advantage of the underestimation, okay? You took advantage of the underestimation. Most times, y'all, when you are the underdog, it's evident, right? It's evident. The person who's the top dog, the person who's connected to the people who want to see him win or see her win, the person who has the financial backing and the support system, they're going to have a different level of confidence than you. The reason why is because they overestimate what they can do and they underestimate their opponent. Why? I got more than them. I'm taller than them. I'm more prettier. I'm more handsome. I have this down pat. I've been doing it longer than them. And what they fail to realize is anytime you underestimate someone, you set yourself up for a possible failure. Y'all may laugh at me, but I don't underestimate somebody who's in special ed. I promise you I won't. I'm not sleeping. I'm going to have empathy, but I don't underestimate them. I don't underestimate a homeless man. I don't underestimate somebody because they got one leg. In fact, I trained at the gym in jiu-jitsu with a man who got one leg. He got one leg, and he beat me. I'm just being honest. He's been training for a long time. Your weaknesses become your strength when you work on them long enough. Ray Charles was blind, but it was almost like he got stronger senses since he was blind. His ears became stronger. Sense of taste became stronger. Feel became stronger. You know, his ears, his hands, all the other senses became his eyes. So the people who looked at him as a underestimation, you failed to realize that honestly, they're just as strong, if not stronger than you, because they have no choice but to be. So family, you took advantage of the underestimation, and that worked in your advantage. You take a person who's 200 pounds, right? Or higher. I'm going to use this as an analogy. But you take a person who's 200 pounds versus the person who's 137 pounds, right? A person who's 200 pounds, a guy or even a female, may automatically in their mind think that, yeah, I'm about to put something on you so cold. Yeah, I'm about to put something on you so cold. Family, a person who's 137 pounds, who got a nice hand game, they know jiu-jitsu, they know some form of martial arts, will put down that 200-pounder. I promise you. What good is you being that weight if you don't know how to use it? Versus the person who know how to use every pound of those 137. Of those 137. That's why in boxing they say pound for pound fighter. You get what I'm saying? But the point is, y'all, is that you took advantage of the underestimation, and that led you on top. Number 2, they came in on their high horse. Yeah, they came in on their high horse, which means they came in thinking that they were better than you. They came in thinking that you couldn't see them. They came in feeling like they were prettier than you. You get what I'm saying? This reminds me of Mr. James Buster Douglas. For those who are into boxing, y'all know, all right? James Buster Douglas. He was the one who took Mike Tyson off his high horse. And we all love Mike Tyson. I told y'all, the world loves the bad guy. I'm not saying that Mike Tyson is a bad guy. I'm saying that his persona, you know, the mean, gritty guy, that's his persona. The world loved that, all right? The world loves a successful criminal. The world loves the bad guy who looked like he winning. Got all the women, got all the money, got all the cars, have all the success. The world loved that. So what I'm saying is, I'm not even taking away from Mike Tyson. But what I will say is that it came from out of his mouth. He was like, number 1, I wasn't focused. And number 2, I was partying a lot. Therefore, he underestimated. And you got to realize, Mike Tyson was the baddest boxer at that time. He did not lose. He was, I think he was 30-0, 20-something-0. But he had a bunch of professional fights that he won, and most of them knocked people out. Yeah. Well, what happens is, y'all, is when you come in on your high horse in any ring, and the ring is metaphorical right now, but if you come in the ring on your high horse, be prepared to lose because somebody is looking to take your spot. In other words, y'all, you will meet your James Buster Douglas if you come in like Mike Tyson in that ring on your high horse. You dig what I'm saying? Number 3, logic defeats emotion every time. All right? Logic defeats emotion every time. So just take this right here, y'all. Someone who says, I feel like it's going to rain. I have a deep feeling that it's going to rain. Versus meteorologists, all right? I believe that's how you say it. Meteorologists, okay, who use computer programs called weather models, all right? Weather models is how meteorologists, find out or have a good prediction of whether it's going to rain if it's gonna have a tornado, if it's gonna snow, whatever the case is, if it's hailing tomorrow, whatever it is, y'all, they use those weather models, right? Logic defeats emotion every time. Somebody may say, I have a strong feeling that it's gonna rain. Well, when it don't rain, it shows you that the status, okay, not the status, but the statistics don't lie. All right, logic don't lie. Using an actual track record or an actual computer that can track if it's gonna rain or not, don't lie as much. All right, we still live in a world where things are made by imperfect beings, which means you're gonna have imperfect outcomes. But I'd rather take my chance with what the meteorologists use versus what a person or a person's strong intuition. You follow what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my chance with that meteorologist. The point is, y'all, is that that's the same thing with this. Logic defeats emotion every time. And that's how you dominated that high rank badly. Okay? They just felt like they was going to win. They felt and believed that they deserved it. All right? You had logic. You had an actual plan, and it didn't fail you. Number 4, y'all, is going to be this right here. Confidence and slight arrogance. Yeah, that's how you won, y'all. Confidence and slight arrogance. I know I got a lot of people saying, but Reno, we're not supposed to be arrogant. Family, in order to be successful in this world, all right, not be a contender, but actually be a person who was successful in this world, you have to have confidence hands down, all right? But you got to have slight arrogance. See, family, confidence is enough only to arrive to the occasion. Confidence. Yeah, it's enough only to arrive to the occasion. Being slightly arrogant is what you need to feel like you deserve to win. Think about that. When you win, you have defeated somebody else. So in order to carry that out, you have to believe in your mind that I deserve to be before this person. I deserve to win this competition. I deserve to win this contest. I deserve to get the job, the promotion. I deserve to have it, right? That comes from a slight bit of arrogance. Believe me or not, but that's what it is. Confidence only says that I'm good enough to be a contender. I'm good enough to go on American Idol. A slight bit of arrogance says I can win American Idol. Y'all get what I'm saying? But the point is that you have that confidence and a slight bit of arrogance, and that's how you won. If you think about any historical war or battle, the American Revolution, the Cold War, World War I or II, okay, that came from a level of confidence and slight arrogance. They believe that we deserve to win the war. The point is, y'all, that's how you dominated that high rank badly. Number 5, family, the last thing is going to be this right here. Strategy and clear direction, okay? Strategy and clear direction. Do y'all want to know how the Europeans conquered the world, okay? The Europeans conquered the world by superior military technology, strategic alliances, and diseases. Yeah. They conquered the world by superior military technology, strategic alliances, and diseases. So let's talk about it, y'all. If I'm the man with the gun and you don't have one, you're going to do whatever I say, right? That's just kind of what it is. Unless you're going to be a rebel and say, well, I'm going to take it to my grave. Not many people going to do that. You may have you one, at most 2. Most people are like, hey, man, what we got to do, dog? What you want me to do? Okay, cool. You want me to turn to the left with? All right, bet, got you. Want me to give you all my money and the chicken too? Oh, cool, got you. Ain't nobody trying to fight. Ain't nobody trying to play tough guy. And that's what the Europeans understood, in ancient times. They understood that the way we going to take over this world is by having the biggest guns, having the highest military technology, being ahead of the curve. That's how they were able to say, we discovered it. No, not because y'all really did, but because y'all had the technology. Y'all had the biggest guns to say so. Then think about strategic alliances. They align themselves with the right people. Think about how they align themselves with the natives to take their things. But first, we're going to align ourselves with y'all. We cool, man. We good. And then we take from you. Strategic alliances. All right? And then diseases. So the diseases, they used things like smallpox and measles. People didn't have the things that they needed or the tools that they needed to survive that, right? People back in the day were dying from smallpox. They were dying from chickenpox, dying. Why? Because it got worse. The great American gangster, Italian American gangster, Al Capone, died from syphilis. Okay, and syphilis turned into dementia, paranoia, and different diseases because he did not have the tools to cure himself. This is back in the 20s, right? The 20s. The point is, y'all, is that when you have strategy and clear direction, you are able to defeat and dominate a person who's considered to be higher than you. All right? The point is, y'all, you had that strategy and clear direction, and that's how you dominated them. Point blank, period. But family, we're going to get up out of here. Y'all be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. Go over to the other channel. All right? Show some love over there, y'all. But let's do a recap, and then we'll conclude this video. Number one, you took advantage of the underestimation. Number two, they came in on their high horse. Number three, logic defeats emotion every time. Number four, confidence and slight arrogance. And number five, y'all, strategy and clear direction. Family, once again, y'all get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy. Check out any one of my books. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.